Welcome to the It Just Works podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and there will be spoilers. So just a heads up, moving forward, we're going to talk about anything relating to the movie. So if you don't want to hear spoilers, then probably come back later after you watch the movie. And then, be sure to check out the Pokemon Stadium episode I just released on YouTube. So you can check out our YouTube channel. So a lot of gaming content will now be on there. And then the podcast will be reviews, updates, announcements, and then obviously movies and just working it out. Seems to be the new platform I'm kind of going with. So far, people seem to like it. So go check that out if you haven't yet. And then if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then please scroll down and hit the review button. Give us a rating, and that helps us grow. And it allows us to gain new listeners. So it's a pretty big deal. That's all I ask of you guys. Thank you so much. And so to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we have Mike and Eric who are back again to continue this MCU journey. So Eric, how's your week been so far, man?
You know what, Ryan? It's been just awesome. Okay.
Yeah, any updates from last week? Is your life different at
all? Different? No. But it's been better. Just had a lot going on, busy all week. Actually, I think I need to talk to you after this is done and maybe get you to come over here and help me put stuff back in the truck for work. But everything's good. Got a lot done. My team's working real good, and actually working, which is I had one of my guys step up just unbeknownst to me, and it's been he just always seems to be kind of progressing the needle, which is finally, except he's fucking late all the time. God damn it, Mike. That's his name, not you, Castro. Other than that, good. Kids are good. Wife's good. Saw Guardians. Just excited to be on, Ryan, and talk to you and see Mike's beautiful gray face.
Damn.
Just like me.
Speaking of that beautiful gray face, how you doing, Mike?
I'm doing good, guys. I miss you guys. So to do this with you guys every weekend and to see you guys, even if it's through Zoom, because I think during the pandemic everyone got a little sick of Zoom and doing their whatever it was, business or personal wise. But I'm doing good. Yeah. Everything's good. It's just the routine that kind of got in right now as far as with work and football starting back up and the kids and the wife, everyone's good. We just had church today and look forward to seeing you guys. Obviously watching the movie. Got to see the movie on Friday night at 10:30, then IMAX.
Nice.
So it was fun to be out and watch the movie. So everybody, all is well. And I fucking love this movie, dude. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, me too. And is there anything else that you guys happen to watch this week? Mike, any TV or any other kind of movies, or do you have time for anything else?
Well, you brought up Beef, and the wife had it on, and she was the first episode, and then we got it was the first one that just got us. So usually it's that first episode that you gotta. It has to reel you in. Like if you're eating that cheeseburger, you take that first bite, it's gonna be fucking good. Yeah. It's the same with that episode. So it reeled us in. We finished it. So that and I know Succession's on tonight, but I don't think I'm watching anything else. I don't think.
Nice. Yeah, I need to finish Beef. I think I'm on episode 8 or something like that. There's only like 10 episodes, so I need to finish that. I still haven't caught up on Barry. I need to do that. It's kind of tough to just sit down and watch shows for me. Because now I'm like creating content for YouTube with like the video games I play. So it's like kind of tough to choose one. But I do want to finish Barry because like I said last week, I literally started watching that show when it premiered initially. So I love that show, and I think Bill Hader kills it. So I definitely need to catch up on that, which I probably do today. I have the house to myself all day, so I'll probably just do that after doing some other things. So uh I watched Super Troopers last night, and I gotta tell you guys, that movie, like, till this day, dude, every fucking bit still holds up so well. Like
Well,
I fucking
that's the
love that
dude
movie.
from Succession, bro.
Yeah, Brian
Yeah,
Cox. Yeah.
Brian Cox.
Yeah, Brian
Yeah.
Cox.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a fucking
Uh,
Oh, dude.
man.
I love Super Troopers so much. I think it really is my favorite comedy of all time. I've seen it so many times and it never gets old. But Mike, you look like you want to say something?
If you like the broken lizard guys, right? Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
Have
watch
you
Quasi?
seen? No.
Oh.
Have you seen Slam and Salmon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Like
It's so,
because I
it's so
thought.
stupid.
Yeah, I know. Like with Michael Clark Duncan, and
Yeah.
like I like Beer Fest too. But yeah,
This is
but
good.
Super Troopers is still like the one.
I think all their movies are pretty good. I mean, Club Dread was good.
Oh
Club
yeah,
Dread.
I forgot
God
about
damn
Club
it.
Dread.
We're doing a Broken Lizard episode.
Oh, dude, those
Now,
guys.
correct me if I'm wrong, but they only have like those 5 movies, right? I mean, I know they had
Yeah,
like
so it's
the TV
Super
show,
Trooper,
the firefighter TV show,
Tacoma FD. So
Tacoma.
it's
Yeah, you never had
Okay.
seen
Super
that, Mike?
Troopers 1 and 2,
No.
So they
Club
took
Dread,
Farva and who's the other guy, Ryan? Farva
Mac.
and Mac, and then they have a show on TBS, I think, called Tacoma 5-9, and they're firefighters. And
Okay.
Slam and Salmon is an underrated one, I think, of
Yeah.
theirs. I think all their stuff's good though. I mean, even Super Troopers too. So you look back at those
Club
5
Dread's
movies,
good.
and Club Dread's pretty good. I like it. And Slam and Salmon was like one of those ones that kind of flew under the radar. I don't know if it was really in the theaters
It's
that
because it was
long.
a TV. Well, no, it was a TV premiere. It actually
Oh,
didn't even go to theaters. It was on Comedy Central
okay.
as a premiere.
Gotcha. I like that movie. I think it's funny.
And then Quasi's on Hulu, and I haven't watched it yet because I don't have Hulu. But Quasi is a reimagining of the Humpback of Notre Dame, and it's all of them. The movie literally just came out on 420. They
What?
purposely released it on 420, so it's a brand
I
new
didn't see
film.
that.
I was watching the Broken Lizard crew on the Whiskey Ginger podcast with Andrew Santino, and those guys are just awesome, and I love them so much. And they say Quasi's, obviously they're funny tropes, but they actually do have like some serious moments too, with like political, like they have like political jokes in it too. So if that's your shindig, then you'll probably like it. I'm gonna watch it one of these days. I just don't have Hulu,
We have
but
Hulu.
oh,
Oh, they got Adriana Palicki in there. Oh God.
but yeah, so I watched that, and
She's the assassin from John Wick 1 that fights, that is in the hotel and kills the black guy. So she's,
yeah.
I think she's really good looking. But she's
hot.
in the Quasi, and they're all in it. So I'm definitely gonna find that and watch it. We have Hulu, Ryan. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, we should do a Broken Lizard episode, Mike. I didn't realize how much you knew about their stuff too.
Oh, dude.
I know you probably knew Super Troopers, of course, and Beer Fest.
For sure.
But,
no, those guys, dude. I mean, now that you brought it up, like for comedy, like I now want to watch it after that. Like I probably too. It's like that's saying like comedies like that saying something, because
there's a lot of good comedies out there.
I'd put it up there, dude.
I'm looking at
so good.
And I'm looking at the Quasi trailer right now because I'm on IMDb, and all I'm getting is Monty Python.
I think
vibes.
It looks it looks like Mel Brooks, Monty Python for sure. Actually, just a real quick, because I actually did a question on my Instagram last night, like what's people's favorite comedies. I'll just do a quick like top 10-ish for you guys. But I got 1941, Animal House, National Lampoon's Vacation, Van Wilder, Not Another Teen Movie, Wedding Crashers, Hangover, Super Troopers, Beer Fest, Anchorman, Dodgeball, Naked Gun, and Airplane, and then Robin Hood Men in Tights, History of the World Part 1, and that's where I'm at. So there's a lot of amazing classic comedies out there, and I probably missed a shit ton as well. Step Brothers, Talladega Nights, back when Will Ferrell was worth watching on film. Yeah, he sucks now. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching.
Spirited.
But Eric, what have you been watching?
Succession. I have plowed through it. I am almost caught up. I've got 3 episodes to then catch up to tonight's episode, and then there's 3 left for the finale season. So that's what I've been watching.
I'm real quick, I'm laughing, by the way, because when Britton was cutting my hair this week, she's like, I have no idea what the fuck is going on, but Eric loves that show. I'm like, yeah, it's the dialogue. It's just amazing. But she's like, they don't do anything. I'm like,
And
that's the
she's
point.
not paying attention and she doesn't know what's going on. That's why.
It said the same thing about Mad Men, because Mad Men was just like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
everyone's talking like, but it's just the characters and how they develop and the writing and stuff. But that's hilarious, though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're where are you at it right now, Eric? Like you said, you
Season
were.
4, episode 4.
Oh, okay, all right.
So episode 7 comes tonight, I think, or 8 actually. I'm sorry, 8. So I have 4, 5, and 6 that are available currently. 7 comes tonight. Oh no, those 4. I'm sorry, those 4 I have to watch, and then you got the next 3 weekends to finish it out. But I'll finish it this week and be caught up. And then Barry, I did catch Barry's the last episode, and then just a lot of Pokemon, and Doc McStuffins. I'm really, the doc is in. And she'll fix you up. I don't remember the
Yeah,
rest of the lyrics.
I used to watch a lot of Bluey with Madeline's daughter. Bluey's legit, dude. That's a good show.
Tight.
Bluey's tight. Um, real quick before we jump into Guardians, keep an eye out for the Star Wars Jedi Survivor gameplay that you can watch, where I just play the game with all game audio. There's no interruptions from me, but you can also watch the full commentary at Pokemon Stadium on YouTube. And then this Friday, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, probably the most anticipated game of the year, comes out, and I am doing a giveaway for that. So be sure to hit up the Instagram at ItJustWorksStudios and enter that giveaway. But we all know why we're here, to talk about hopefully the revival of the MCU, but probably not, since the Marvels comes out next and it's going to be absolute dog shit. But when we talk about this movie, it actually isn't about moving forward with the MCU. It's about how it probably is going to go in history as one of the best trilogies of all time. And we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 today. And Mike, I'd like to start off with you. We'll just do the classic, like, how did you feel leading up to this movie and how did you feel walking out? Was it the same, or was it actually exceeding your expectations?
Exceeded. I well, when we did the Guardians 1 pod, and I rewatched that, but I didn't really go back to 2, but I remember 2.
Yeah, I remember 2, so for sure.
So like so going in, I was expecting well, I wasn't expecting there to be a lot of people at a 10:30 showing, but there was. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it was. I mean, it was fucking like it was. I was dead tired. I was wide awake, dude, the entire time. I loved it. I brought it up to you guys via text. I was like, I think this is the best trilogy the MCU has. The amount of weight that these characters have put on, and how it has kind of came first full circle for each character in a way towards the end. You always knew Rocket was fucked up, and you kind of get that was kind of like the backbone of the story. You kind of,
Yeah.
but I loved it, dude. It definitely exceeded expectations.
So, real quick too, I meant to do like a preemptive question just to catch people up with how you feel. Marvel. This is Marvel Phase 5. Like, how have you felt about Phase 5 before this movie came out? Like, was there any movies that you have liked so far, or have you thought it's all been pretty much a shit show since Endgame?
That Endgame, since
Well, yeah, that's why I asked, because that's how I feel myself. Like, I feel like Spider-Man No Way Home is just nostalgia bait. Like, I think the ending of that film is fucking stupid and I hate it. But one of the things I saw about your text that I really enjoyed, and I wanted to give my opinion on the podcast, so that's why I kind of waited. So the only reason why it's just a matter of opinion, but the reason why I say Captain America is also probably the best trilogy in the MCU is because not only were the first two films just good on his own, like, and introducing the Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I think Captain America trilogy is the best because Civil War not only gave us that backbone that you're talking about and the weight of these characters that are Captain America's friends and himself, but it also propelled the MCU forward by introducing Black Panther and moving us into the Infinity Wars as well on that end. So that movie, Civil War, not only had the Civil War introduce a brand new, amazing hero that's extremely popular, but also continued what we get into Infinity War. So that's why I say I think both are like neck and neck in terms of the best. But I just wanted to share that. My expectations were actually exceeded as well. Seeing the trailers, I definitely got excited, but was still kind of, nothing against James Gunn and the cast and crew, but it's like because of the way the MCU's been since Endgame, I was still a little worried on like what to actually expect and come out of how I'm going to feel walking out of the movie. Um, Having seen it, I think the movie's incredible. I mean, easy 9 out of 10 for me. Like I was so happy. I just had such a fun time watching it. And getting Rocket's backstory was amazing. Unfortunately the animals get pretty fucked up, which is sad to see, but it's just cool that they actually committed to that. Because it actually gave um oh my god, what's his name? The high what's his name? Eric? Fuck.
High Evolutionary.
High Evolutionary. Like it actually made him feel like a threat. And so we were talking about, Ronan from Galaxy Volume 1, where he was a cool threat, but he was also kind of just thrown away because of Thanos. The High Evolutionary like felt like a really powerful character, and I don't know if like in the climax he was utilized very well, but leading up to that I do. um but yeah, I walked out of here completely happy. I thought the ending was great, and the way the characters veer off from each other, it all makes sense. Like it's plausible. um I could definitely see someone out there making the case that like all the fake out deaths were kind of annoying. I can kind of get that. Like how many times is Peter gonna get in the fucking space and almost die? But whatever. But Eric, leading up to this film, how did you feel? And then, how are you walking out?
Um, Leading up to it, I was excited for it. We watched 1 and 2 prior to seeing the third, and those still hold up pretty damn well. The new one, I'm not as bullish on as you guys seem to be. And I'm not sure why. I have to see it again. I just like it was good. I enjoyed the backstory of Rocket. The CGI was really good. I was kind of feel like they went in a couple different directions that I wasn't prepared for, with like the way that they basically destroy the animals. And I know it's all CGI, but kids are probably going to see this. Then they pull off High Evolutionary's face to show exactly what happened when Rocket scratched, clawed him close to death, maybe.
That was awesome.
Pretty close, yeah. Yeah, it was amazing, dude.
For me, I thought the makeup was really good. I was just kind of surprised they actually showed that, just considering the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's something about it that I don't know. I'm not sure.
You think it's the music?
I can't even. I can tell you right now, the music is definitely not as good on par to anything else prior to it. Now, Creep was great. The Faith No More song was great. Beastie Boys at that moment in that shot was fucking awesome. I mean, there's really good parts to this movie, but most of the other songs, I mean, those are like the 3 songs I could roll off the top of my head, and then that's kind of it. I don't remember the rest.
I had Florence in the
Florence
at the
was
end.
fine. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not as bullish on the movie. I need to see it again.
I think the music actually kind of took away from the movie this time around, because I don't know if it's just me, but they constantly played music. Whereas
True.
the other 2 Guardians, like it made sense when the time came. Like they didn't just play it to play it. Whereas this movie, I feel like they literally said, all right, cool. Like let's hit the next song, this next scene. All right, cut, next scene, movie. Let's put a new song on. So
yeah, I mean, I think
it,
that happened, and I don't think that I don't think that was the problem. I think it was maybe the song choices, because when you think about it, I mean, I'm playing music 24/7. Not 24/7, but as much as I possibly can. I'm in the shower, I've got music on. I'm cooking breakfast
Yeah, no,
this
we
morning,
listen
I've
to
got
music way
on.
more than the average person, for sure.
So, I mean, I think it was maybe more prevalent because you're noticing it more, you know, Rocket's putting it on, and I don't know. There was the note from Quill to Rocket. Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
is it like Rocket's backstory? Because I think when they go to the facility, I think that shit, like that whole set piece was fun and a really good time with like Nathan Fillion and all of them. I thought that scene was incredible just across the board. What, like, is there anything that like you don't like that you just straight up
Well, the
just,
one thing
I feel
that
like
kept bothering the shit out of me was the whole between Quill and Gamora, and she kept going back and just beating on him and yelling at him and this and that. Once or twice could have been fine, but I feel like they did it a lot more than that. And then I don't know. I mean, I guess Adam Warlock kind of he was cool. I like Will Poulter as that character. He looked good. I feel like they just kind of threw him in there. He was at the end of the second one in the cocoon, basically, and then it's like, okay, well, here we go. Now here he is, and there's not a lot to that.
I
I
feel
don't
like they
know.
covered
There's
their
just
asses
something.
with that a little bit because they said that, Adam Warlock was prematurely taken out of the cocoon by the High Evolutionary. So it's like that's why
Well,
he's
that's why
not
he was
as
being.
powerful.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess that could roll into that too. But I meant, I felt like they were saying that because he's kind of stupid and kind of
Yeah,
immature.
he's so stupid. Yeah, well, they were. I mean, that's what I'm saying though. Like they kind of narratively like covered their asses with that. I'm not saying you can't critique it. I'm just saying like I think it didn't bother me because they called it out on themselves at like how stupid he is and shit. Like I mean, yeah, they literally said he's stupid.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited to see him moving forward. I think Will Poulter killed it in the role. Like I think he looks like an incredible Adam Warlock. Um, I just not that it matters. Like it's okay that you feel like you need to watch it again or you're not on the same level as us yet. It doesn't matter. I'm just curious because when I think about the movie, broken down, because like I think the Counter Earth stuff was pretty cool. Um, the flashbacks with, Rocket's, friends. I thought that was fine. Um, Britain was saying when she was cutting my hair, like she felt like Rocket was taken out like way too quick,
Mhm.
like current Rocket. But then again, it's like the backstory helped propel him as a character forward with the actual movie itself. So I didn't really mind it too much. And I feel like he came back, close enough to the end where it was still cool that he came back. Um, I thought the climax is great. I mean,
I
the
mean, they
High
had
Evolution
some
kind of
some
doesn't
good
do anything.
laughs. Yeah, the high
It's definitely,
evolutionary.
I don't like, I think that's like the issue I might have is, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, you know what? They all beat the shit out of him. Yeah, he couldn't beat them all. I guess I don't mind it then. Because I just thought about it. He's fucking up Rocket after he starts saving animals, but then all the Guardians come back and fuck him up.
Mhm.
So,
I will say
mm.
the one thing I noticed, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I was actually pleasantly surprised with the way that Drax was. He was the normal Drax, except this time he actually was like the fucking destroyer. Like he actually did things.
Oh
He
yeah,
showed strength. He
yeah.
showed how much power he actually has. Where I feel like they didn't utilize that in any of the other movies. Even potentially, even maybe Infinity War and Endgame was all right. But do you know what I'm saying? Where like
Well, yeah,
he's
he's like
supposed
straight
to
up throwing
be,
people, opening doors.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I felt like that was something I noticed. There was some tear jerking moments, close to it anyway. Um, and then uh, there was some good laughs in there. But what do you think, Mike? What do you got to
Uh,
say, dude?
it's. I mean,
He's got something.
I guess. I mean, I like how it opened. Because the idea, because it's the last one. It's they have nowhere, so they set up shop there, and they're just it's they went through the snap and all that shit, and they're making do with what they have, and if I Quill's drinking himself to death and still obviously not over we just got to see like different sides of each character, like having even Nebula having like a different side of Nebula and actually like maybe taking the charge on certain things and coming full circle and having a different Gamora and a completely different Gamora come and then having like so it was all cool until especially that opening scene when then you get like the Sovereign, who I didn't know like the High Evolutionary made, and you get Warlock coming through, not taking out Rocket because he was after Rocket, and Rocket's now in a state like a coma pretty much. So it's I and then all of a sudden then you get like a jump start to the second act to where we just gotta save our friend, and like it just like we gotta save Rocket, we gotta do whatever we can for Rocket, and that's kind of what the story was. It's just them looking out for one of their own. And so like just going back to volume one, and seeing kind of how where they all came, and just in it for whatever currency they have. Yeah, yeah. And then just being where they are now. And so I liked it, and I thought the antagonist was like I try to pronounce his name. I just call him Chuck Iwuji. Like he was like
That's a great actor.
Yeah, dude. Like I know he had a small role in Peacemaker, even though I really didn't finish Peacemaker. I think I gotta go back and watch, but he was like he just wants to make everything perfect. He's obsessed with making the perfect bean, and a typical example, like it's been used a million times, where like you get a guy that has the right intentions early on, and then just kind of through trial and error just veers off. And I thought I did that great, and I thought they portrayed that great, and I thought I know like I can see people bitching about that, about he wasn't as I thought the RoboCop face was cool.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
But even the way, like, I'm not like a cinematography expert, but the way they shot this one too was like, it was like in tight. Like the action scenes were in tight. Like even some of the dialogue scenes were in tight. The cut scenes were quick and precise. It just it wasn't just like, I felt like I was watching something a little different than your typical Marvel action scene. So
I would agree with that though. Like the CGI is noticeably better in this film than I honestly probably since Endgame. I didn't see any like really shitty CGI. I'm sure there is, but for the most part, the movie is very, very fucking clean. And I think that's why like it's so good. It's a great closing on the chapter of these characters, and as far as James Gunn's storytelling. And you're right, like we see a good side of every character that we haven't really seen before, but they've all earned it because we've led up to this through two movies, Infinity War and Endgame, with them. And I think it's cool that like Nebula is like her arm, the nanotechnology. Thank you. I had to tell myself, I'm like, come on, the robot technology. So the nanotechnology, where just like Iron Man, he can do whatever he wants. And I feel like she learned a lot of what she gained in that arm from him and the way he fought Thanos and everything. So I was like, really cool to see that. You can actually see that in the trailer where she's fighting Adam Warlock at the very beginning. So to see that was like very reminiscent of Iron Man. So I thought that was fucking cool. Like Eric said, it is true, man. Drax is utilized very, very well in this film. Not only dialogue, but just physically. And I thought that was really cool to see. Mantis is really, really good in this film. She's fucking incredible. Very fun dialogue for her and a good outcome for her, I think. I think Cosmo the dog is amazing. I think they did such a good job with Cosmo and finally giving her the limelight. Normally a male dog, but they just changed it for this, which, whatever, that's fine. I don't care. I thought Cosmo was great. Sean Gunn was great as Kraglor. I think Kraglin. I thought the Death Star Celestial was fucking cool. Just fucking a giant cannon on the Celestial's eye socket. So that's cool.
I didn't like that they changed nowhere into a fucking spaceship. I don't know.
Yeah,
just for me, it wasn't. I just didn't like it.
Okay.
I mean, you got a flesh celestial head flying through the galaxy with a fucking mechanical Death Star eye that hits a giant fucking.
It's flesh. It's a
pyramid
planet made of flesh.
I would imagine. What's it made out of, Mike? Metal? Was the celestial made of metal? I'm just assuming that you're a ship. You're a piece of ship. But I don't know. I just whatever.
I think you got to watch this movie again, dude. I don't know. I feel like we watched two different movies now.
I just didn't like that part. That's all. I'm just saying I didn't like the fact that they turned a fucking flesh celestial head into a spaceship and then they ran it into a giant metal pyramid and it's supposed to take each other out or take one out. Like, fuck you.
But see, how do you not like it? Because when you describe it like that, it sounds funny and stupid to me. I love it. I don't know.
I don't know, Ryan.
It's
Shut
flesh.
up.
It's. I didn't know it was. I thought it was just
Francis,
what
celestial head.
Are you
So it's like
confusing
bone
it for that
marrow.
first thing where they went to find the file?
No, the celestial head. It's a head of a celestial. It's got
Is
bone
it?
marrow on it.
Oh.
They talk about it in the film. How?
Oh yeah, they talk. That's what the yellow shit is. They say it in either one or two, but anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying that was something I wasn't too high on. I will say the callbacks. Something I had a. Now I'm forgetting it. Fuck. There was a lot of good things that they called back, like when Peter's talking to the High Evolutionary and he's saying that he's tired of these egotistical, narcissistic, blah blah blah. And he's speaking of Thanos. He's speaking of ego. What else? The other thing I didn't think of when I was watching it, why Nebula was so distraught, and obviously she's part of the team now, going through all these 3 movies and 7 total things that they've done as a team. But I didn't think about it, but everybody died. Everybody in the blip, they all went away except for Rocket and Nebula. So they had 5 years together to build a friendship. And so I didn't even think about that, to why she was so distraught when after the first scene that Mike was talking about, where he gets torn up. And then I did like the nanotech stuff. I mean, there's good stuff about it. I think I just have to see it again. I'm not saying it's a bad movie at all. I enjoyed most of it. I'm just saying
No, I'm pretty sure you are. I'm pretty sure you're shitting on it. Dude.
There's things about it that I was like, okay, well, I just watched 1 and 2 right before. I literally finished 2 right before, an hour before we left to go watch 3.
All right.
And then there was something else I forgot, but
I don't think this is a hot take, but I think this movie's like way better than Volume 2.
I disagree.
That's a good question. I mean, I was gonna mention, you brought up the Cap trilogy. I mean, they're aren't they gonna still make Captain America movies?
I think this trilogy is better than Captain.
I think this is, I mean, from top to bottom, I don't see. It's just a bunch of fun, dude.
I'll tell you why. I agree. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Captain 1 does not hold weight to Guardians 1. I like Captain 1, but Captain 1 is really kind of some of the things Mike brought up, I kind of agree with, where it's just kind of it's not a bad movie at all. I'm just saying, comparatively speaking to Volume 1, Captain 1 is not as good. Okay. 2, Winter Soldier, and Volume 2, I'll go barely a little bit towards Winter Soldier, but barely. And then Cap 3 and Volume 3, I guess maybe Cap 3, that's basically an Avengers movie. It's not even really a Captain America movie. And then the only other thing is you could say is, well, Guardians is a freaking team up movie, but they're all team up movies. So maybe they're just, in general, they're all better. So fuck you, Ryan. I just see your eyes.
Civil War is still a Captain film. Like everything that happens comes from what he's done and his past and his villains. Like it all comes together. So you can go fuck yourself, But I don't know. I just think they're both side by side amazing trilogies. I don't think they're comparable because, yeah, I agree. Like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, as I said last podcast, is like I hadn't watched it since Infinity War Endgame. And that movie is so goddamn good, man. It is very, very good. I enjoyed every second of it. There's just something about Volume 2. It's just there. It's kind of whatever. I think Yondu is amazing in it, and I think his death was incredible. Like I think they did such a good job with that. Like the ending of that film. But there's just something about that. It doesn't really land for me, and I think it's because the movie slows down hard after they land on Ego's planet, and Rocket and Peter are being dicks to each other and stuff, and it just slows down so much for me that I just couldn't enjoy it watching it for probably like my 5th or 6th time as well. So there's that. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I still think it's good. It just compared to Volume 1 and 3, I think those two knock it out of the park immensely. But is there a favorite scene you guys have? I'll give you some time to think about it because
I'm gonna go first.
No, I'm gonna go first this
Fuck
time.
you, Ryan. This 2-minute
Yeah.
shot, one shot.
Nah. Oh, it's such a well. Let's talk about it. So yeah, we finally got everyone together. Rocket's back. He just he got revived, and they get on the fucking pyramid. Everyone's all grouped up. They walk into this hallway, and you have a shit ton of enemies, and we get probably one of the best one shot scenes in the MCU. I fucking enjoyed every second of it. I was like a little kid on Christmas. I thought it was so fucking dope. But Eric, yeah, continue to talk about the rest of it. Obviously, there's a lot that happens in that scene that I didn't say.
Well, no, I just like they had the callback with Rocket on top of Groot, looked exactly like the prison break in Volume 1. I love how they utilized and followed Rocket on Groot's branch as he's extending it and just kind of going between people. Yeah. And then actually, I think Rocket jumps off, does the spin slow-mo kick, and then Groot
And
actually sticks his arm into one of the villains and then like explodes twigs out and kind of shreds the villain apart. I mean, they did a lot of fucking cool stuff. They really did. Actually, one of my other favorite scenes on top of that one, just because I think it's kind of funny how, for whatever reason, Mantis is the butt of the joke on everything. When they get in the spacesuits, that whole they're all in the multicolored suits, and she's kind of just like the only one that's like flying around
Floating, like yeah,
Durka, and then like I think she even lands on her face when they get inside or something. So that whole scene was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, she lands on her neck.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, her neck. So I mean, they have a lot. I mean, it's not a bad movie at all. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying there's something about it that I don't know. I gotta watch it again. I watched the first one 4 times in a row: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This one I've seen once.
I don't know what it is with you. Just what? Did you fall asleep, dude? Like, what's going on?
I did actually fall asleep once, real quick. It was real quick. Shut up.
There's a disclaimer right there, dude. So okay,
shut up,
Mike. Right, so you didn't even. All right,
that's how bad it was. It didn't even hold my attention.
I'm sure.
One of my favorite scenes is actually when Peter and Groot are talking to the High Evolutionary on their own in the pyramid, and they jump out, and Groot uses his wings now. So I really think that Groot, like, honestly, almost takes the cake in this film as one of the best characters. Like, I just think they've done so much for him. Even in the first film, he's like, introducing new powers throughout the film. But in this one, I just love what they've done with him. And then we can talk about the post-credit scene later where, he's King Groot. Man, like James Gunn, like really looked at the source material for these characters and brought them to life. Because Eric, one of the other things too, when that one shot scene is at the end of them showing Groot and Rocket together, he does that jumping shot attack too, which is actually like a very, very common pose in promo art they've used for Rocket Raccoon since we were kids, so it's that whole scene was amazing. And then like you said too, when we were talking about the other day, when Peter's on the floor doing like his twist, shooting attack and stuff, like and then Drax actually once again kind of shows his powers in that too. Like he's fucking shit up. So I just think that scene is gonna be something that people like literally look up on YouTube and watch for years to come. But I think
even the Nebula part, where she gets hit in the head really hard like basically breaks her neck, and she's like dangling and she's still fighting. I mean, they did a lot in that scene. It's really, there's a lot of material that we've been watching lately. I feel like in maybe the last year or more they've really stepped up some stuff. Like I still think that John Wick scene up above the rooms was just fucking so sick. This scene that we're talking about for Guardians Volume 3, I put the Volume 3 one shot take, up par with like the Daredevil season 1 shot in that hallway.
Yeah.
Or even there's one in the raid too where they did something like that. But yeah, we're
I did one in the raid
definitely
too,
getting a lot of cool content for sure.
I just think Hollywood needs to keep doing one shot scenes. Like I just think they're phenomenal and truly mind blowing. I mean, like the choreography, between the actors and the stuntmen that have to go and pull that off is truly remarkable. And the John Wick one for sure is like that was really fucking cool, man. Especially with the fire breath rounds as well.
Yeah.
But I'll just go ahead and say like my second favorite scene is easily when they're in the records facility with Nathan Fillion and all them. I just thought across the board it was funny, full of action, great character development. Just saw a lot of cool cameos from James Gunn's friends. Obviously, he's worked with Nathan Fillion on Slither and other projects. And then we have the Rat Catcher, who's the from Suicide Squad. She's the purple chick. So I love how like stoic her face is throughout the whole experience with him, and like Gamora pointing a gun at her and shit. Like her eyes, it almost looks like she doesn't blink. Um, but Mike, what would you say was probably like a favorite scene for you if we haven't talked about it yet, or if we have, just in general?
Oh, you guys went through the movie fucking scene for scene, dude. I mean, all right, I'm gonna see if I can find one. Spoiler alert. Uh,
I said
I
I feel like
don't.
there's a lot we're not missing right now.
No, I mean, I love. Obviously, that was the first thing that comes to mind is that that one shot, and but again, like you had, what kind of did it for me was the one liner from Rock is like, yeah, I'm done running, and it kind of just gets to that, and with the Beastie Boys, like that was pretty flawless, and then but I think if I had to pick another one, I always enjoyed when it, like you just had Gamora, and I'm not like I did not care for even when she was in the first couple. Like she was a good role character, and she provided interest and whatever. But whenever she was propelled in this spot to where like she had to, like she's like rolling her eyes like, okay, I guess we're doing this. Like she found herself doing that with them together or doing something for them, because usually like she kind of comes off as kind of a dick and she was selfish and all this stuff. But whenever she was kind of in that mode where like where she has to grab Rocket out because that a war pig comes in and tries to take him, and uh but anytime like she was in a moment where like, all right, well, like this is kind of weird, I'm I gotta do something out of my own self-interest. That I enjoyed those. I mean, dude, they made me feel for a fucking otter, man. I the little baby otter, and
Yeah,
the
Lila.
backstory. Yeah, Lila, and that shit, and um, you kind of knew something was coming, but the way it happened still was kind of surprising. So it was cool. Um, yeah, I mean, there's a shit ton, but the one shot obviously was the best. I mean, when they were when Quill was with Groot, and they Groot pulls out like fucking 15 blasters, and they
Yeah.
end up
I
taking
just think
everyone
it's so
out.
cool, man.
Yeah, so
I can't wait for all the news across the country to come out the next month of kids trying to fucking take raccoons home and shit. Just because all the baby raccoons and how adorable they look. Like, I'm
yeah.
telling you, there's gonna be a story. It's gonna come out that someone tried to take a raccoon and got fucking rabies or something.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Okay.
happen.
Yeah.
Uh, very, very, very tough question for you guys. Um, it's really not easy, but who's your favorite character in the film? In this one?
Hmm. Oh, I'll go first, bitch. Uh, dude, it's real. I mean, Rocket by default, man. It's kind of weird. Like I would have thought a CGI character would be, you know. But I I liked Nebula a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
So, but I guess I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I kind of I really like Peter Quill in this film. I think they did a really good job with him just being the alcoholic in the beginning, but the second like something serious happens, like he's back to it, being himself, doing whatever he can to help others and make things right. And I just think they did a really good job of that throughout the film. I think like Chris Pratt's like humor was like top tier. Every joke I feel like just really landed. So I'd still go with Peter Quill, but really crazy runner up for me is honestly Cosmo, man. I really like what they did with Cosmo. We've had this character tease already, and to see Cosmo pretty much fleshed out just like a comic book is really fucking cool. Like her powers are like she's powerful. So it is really cool to see that. I love that they stuck to the fact that she's a Russian space dog. So I'm glad they really committed to that. Um But Groot is also, like you said, a CGI character, and I love what they've done with Groot. Like his body language, trying to help as many people as possible, trying to save, just being a really good character, like especially since we saw him die, go to the baby form, teenage form, and now where he's at now, and then post credit scene King Groot. So yeah, I'd say King Groot would probably be second place, and then Cosmo. But Eric, is there a character that you really enjoyed in this film? And just to wrap things up with the
I
trilogy.
think the I mean, I guess it's going to be kind of A and B. I think Mantis and Drax kind of, I really enjoyed them together and kind of all of their scenes and everything together. I think. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
their
obviously
chemistry is
Rocket.
flawless, man.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Rocket. I mean, you guys hit all the higher ones, I think, but I do think that Drax and Mantis have really, since Volume 2, really created this friendship that you see even further in this one. And like even Drax was like, when she's like, I'm gonna leave too, and Drax is like, no, I'll go with you. And um just shows that they're I don't think they're like in love or anything. I think they're just like really good friends, and he wants to take care of her. And so I think that whole thing, their whole dynamic, I mean, when they're on Counter Earth and he he clotheslines the guy on the motorcycle, and then takes the motorcycle, and he's like, hey, jump on, we're just gonna go around the block. And then of course they're not, like, and she's just kind of dim-witted. She's not stupid, but she's just kind of okay, like trusting.
Yeah.
And just goes with it. And of course, that backfires. And I mean, like I said, there's a lot of good to this movie. I just want to see it again. I think it'll sway me. But I mean, when you start
Nebula
thinking
turns
about,
around, and I'm sorry, just real quick, like Nebula turns around and they're just standing there next to the
oh yeah,
bike.
yeah, which you already knew was going to happen. She's talking and talking and talking, and they haven't really said anything. And then he finally says something, and they're like literally behind her.
Yeah, nothing. Go ahead, go. Fine.
Well, no, I was just gonna say Cosmo is really cool too. I like that they used Maria Bakalova. I just saw her in Bodies a couple months ago. But I thought she was really good too. So just, I mean, the character, it's the voice character is fine, but I'm saying like even what you alluded to, Ryan, was pretty good. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, nothing. As far as like it's an imperfection how they work as a team, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get like an ensemble of team of whether they're superheroes or not, and they're all on the same page. Like they're never really all on the same page because of one's getting off the ship, one's getting on the ship, and they're all. That's why that's what I like a lot about it too. But there was I don't know, these are on IMDb, so these must be true. Two little trivia notes that this film sets the record for the most makeup appliances used in a single film, having more than 23,000 prosthetics used across more than 1,000 actors.
Jeez.
And this will be the first MCU movie to have an uncensored use of fuck.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Which is intense because I was watching a video, and so two things. One, that fucking was improvised. So, and then they so they decided to keep it. That was improvised by Pratt. And then the second thing is if it's a PG movie, right? Or PG-13?
PG-13.
Okay, so if you have a PG-13, there's rules and guidelines to be able to use literally one fuck, and it has to be after. It can't be like right off, which I don't understand, whatever, but it was just part of a video I watched. And shout out to the new Rockstar stuff. They do a bunch of great shit. And it has to be after 1 hour. So if you look at when he says that, it's like 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Oh,
so it's just a little thing about it. But yeah, it's pretty interesting that that's the first fuck they've ever used in the movie or in the MCU.
Yeah.
Just open the fucking door.
Yeah. Well, and that's again, that's funny. I mean, there's a lot of funny stuff. I mean, War Pig, I didn't know that was voiced by Judy Greer, who's nice. Ant-Man's wife or ex-wife. Linda Cardellini was Lily, and she's Hawkeye's wife in actual human things. And then the little Asian girl at the end of the movie is actually turns into someone, which Phasar, I think, or Quasar?
Phyla Vin. Wait,
Yeah, I
no,
forgot
it's
what she
Phyla Vin.
is. That what it is?
Well, that's the character now, but I guess she turns into Quasar or something.
Yeah.
She's a pretty important character, which
Well, I
is
mean, it had
why
to be, right?
which is why I like the team at the end so much. Like it sucks that James Gunn's kind of done with it because I think the team that we get at the end is a great follow up to the OG lineup.
Yeah.
You know, you got
Yeah, but he
Todd.
should, but he should. This should be it. Like I think
And
it
I
has
hope
to
it
be.
is.
It has to
I
be it.
agree because
Like I
I think the
can't.
post credit scene is like a great. Here's the epilogue. Here's the team now. Well, you'll see them in Secret Wars, and that's it.
Yeah,
Because
dude. I
I agree.
I think. I mean, because it's funny because you keep. I love. I've grown to love Captain America, and we've talked about Captain America before. He is the buttoned up, can do no wrong character. Fucking got the stars and stripes. He's perfect in that's great. But these characters are all fucked up, and none of them are really all that likable. It's that's why I love Guardians. I've grown to love Guardians more. Um, they gotta stop it here, like, and the way the high evolutionary and how Rocket, with the you just hated how they didn't need to be perfect. You just hated the way things were. Well, they're all fucked up in their own way. They all came together. They did something good. They gotta stop it here, though. You gotta stop it here. That scene was cool though, with all of them coming, like with Warlock and it was cool. But
I love them all chilling and just talking about music, and then all right, let's gotta get up and work. Like it was like such a just like a classic Guardians moment where they're just dicking around. I'm so glad that the new team still can have like that glimpse of chemistry, for us fans to just maybe think of like what they're going off to do. It is tough because I would love to see a movie, but I do agree. Like I just don't think it would be done right, and not everything has to continue. Like we can close the chapter on certain characters, and I think that's kind of the issue with the MCU now is, after Secret Wars, I don't know why they fuck they'd even bother continuing. But yeah, I love this movie. I think Peter going back to Earth is great. Drax and Nebula basically raising all these kids is great. The new team led by Rocket, which is fantastic, happens just like the comics. I think just a crazy far out cameo that I would have loved is Space Ghost Rider to join the team, just like randomly, like just showing up. I think that would have been cool because that's something that happens too. I think that just would have been funny with he'd be fit in perfectly with the new lineup. But yeah, I like that Mantis it's a legit reason. Like she just wants to go and see what's out there. She's never lived her own life. She's always been someone's puppet. So that's pretty cool. And then, she's got those fucking monsters. So she'll be chilling. And then, I think it's cool that Peter goes back to Earth. Um, like honestly, the ending, you know, for our main character, Star-Lord is pretty fucked up, to be honest. You know, the dude didn't really get a happy ending. So, I think that's why you probably like the film too, is like there's unlikable characters and there's also not really a happy ending.
yeah, that's something that needs to be instilled in a lot more of these stories. Which is why I will always like double down on Infinity War, shitting on Endgame, especially with like the way that it's going now. Like, there's no real waiting. Like I love Game of Thrones because any episode of a key character could just be fucking done. Like that's why I love Thrones, and I like Infinity War because you get a lot of guys that were, but then everyone gets brought back now because of the going back in time and whatnot. But yeah, but that's why I was kind of okay with if Rocket was to just not make it in this one. I think Eric touched on that earlier. Like Eric, Rocket got brought back, which was well, all right, which is cool. I'm rooting for him, but yeah, man. There's just no consequences anymore, I guess, with the characters. But I still love the movie and just fucking
Yeah, we expected someone to die, but at the same time, I almost feel like the movie's better off not killing the people because they still didn't get like a very happy ending. I mean, all of them are sad to go their separate ways. You know, Peter's love doesn't even exist. It's not literally the same person. It's a completely different multiverse, you know, fucking Gamora. I'm sorry, past time. I
Yeah,
don't know.
because didn't you think like Gamora was gonna fall in love with him again?
I
Like,
thought there'd probably be something like that, or you know,
but
something close
nope.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you're
thought
like,
there was a potential, but I was glad that they didn't do that.
yep, yeah,
Yeah, I
mm-hmm,
agree with
Because then,
that.
yeah, it would have made her original death pointless. But I
mm-hmm.
like that they still try, you know, because that's something you didn't really care for necessarily. But I like that he kept trying because it's like he can't let go. Like it's like damn, like he finally got what he wanted and it was gone just in the blink of a moment, which he actually kind of makes fun of himself for. Essentially, is losing his, you know, losing his cool and basically getting half the universe killed. He makes that comment in this
Mm.
film.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm happy they didn't kill anybody because I still feel like walking out of the film like, damn, like that. I mean, that's it. And you know, the thing when it comes to Infinity War and Endgame, I don't really understand how people can put Infinity War like so high over Endgame. Like you knew everyone was going to come back. Like, I mean, we knew that before Infinity War even started. Like, how could you not know that? It's literally part of the storyline in the comics. To a degree, it's not they don't play out the exact same way, but even though I do like I loved being in that audience, you know, for the premiere and everyone's reaction to like Spider-Man taking forever to die because of spider senses and shit. But we all knew they were coming back. Like it wasn't, I don't know. I just feel like people
Well,
kind of put that little snap scene a little too high up on the pedestal. We knew it was going to get reverted. It was the whole
it,
point of it.
well, okay, sure, yes. Well, in the back, yeah, we knew they were going to come back. There was a lot of characters, a lot of big money characters. You know, I get it. And the way they came back was cool, and the to your left moment with Steve and Falcon, which was you know which was cool. They did all right, but it was just the one movie like where the heroes just they just lose and they lose in a way that um I had never seen before. I know I'm not a big Marvel comics dude, but I we knew there. I agree with you. I know, but it just made that movie and it just made that movie just kick it up a notch on the emotional scale and the gravity scale. You know, I mean, like the weight of the moment was bigger than anything. Like when I still think, not to get too far off track, but everyone loves when Cap picks up Thor's hammer. Everyone fucking I get it. Like that was cool. I'm on like he's worthy. He's cool. I fucking love it when Thanos runs through all of them and Cap catches the gauntlet and he's fucking like he's like he's got him and Thanos makes that face. You know what I mean? Like who the fuck's this guy? And Cap's like go like I love that moment. I loved just having the heroes just in the pickle and with the backs against the wall type thing. I hear what you're saying though, Ryan. I got you, but
And I still think all of that, those moments too in Infinity War are amazing. Like you're watching Infinity War right now. I just, I just knew that the snap theoretically didn't matter. Like I would say I think it would have been more of a payoff if an end game. I know we're kind of veering off to a different Avenger or you know movie now, but I think it would have benefited them more in end game if the big three were still the ones to kick his ass and kill him. Like it still could have ended with Iron Man sacrificing himself, and everyone still could have got portaled back in. Like I think that's all badass, but ultimately, when it came to him losing that fight, it was the big three. Like I think they just put too many people involved to beat him. When you know even the Russo brothers were saying right there when Cap picks up the Mjolnir, like he's technically becomes like the strongest fucking hero, and then you already had Thor, who's pretty badass, and then Iron Man and all his gear is fucking incredible. I think that's like my biggest gripe with Endgame is that I just wish the big three finished that fight and they did actually win with Iron Man still sacrificing himself and having that powerful scene. And I also hate that they the deleted scene. I don't know if you ever saw that, Mike. I know Eric has, but it's actually all of them like kneeling down and like as he's passing away, talking to Spider-Man and Pepper Potts. It's like all the heroes are like kneeling down for him as he's slowly fading away. I wish they did that in the film instead too. But yeah, Infinity War is great. I totally get the love for it because I think throughout the film they're losing and winning and losing and winning, and then we finally get the best version of Thor as well, as after he almost dies to make Stormbreaker, and then he fucking comes in there and saves the day with Rocket and Groot. Yeah, like Infinity War is amazing, dude. It's really,
It's
really good.
it's just it just flowed better. Like I know we're it's like
Definitely
because
flowed better, yeah.
these two movies are like like you could go on for hours, but like it flowed better. It was nonstop from literally the beginning or the end of Ragnarok to then, but like it just it flowed a little bit. I thought Endgame was very like we got a lot of this shit. We're gonna try to fucking squeeze it all in about 2 hours 45 minutes with a killer ending, and that's it. But yeah.
Eric, before we jump back to wrap this up with the Guardians, is there any Avengers stuff you want to chime in on since we already kind of brought them up?
No, not really.
Okay. Uh yeah, so yeah, the post-credit scene, the very, very last one. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I think the first one is the one where they're showing the new crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the last one's him with the grandpa. So yeah, the first post-credit scene, the one that I kind of want to refer to is we see the new lineup. We got Adam Warlock, Cosmo, Groot, Rocket, Phyla-Vin. I think that's it,
By
right?
Lavelle.
Oh, Phyla-Vell and then Kraglin. Was Kraglin there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a amazing lineup to wrap things up. And that's it. I mean, that's the film. I mean, I feel like we've talked about some of the biggest set pieces between the flashbacks, the pyramid ship, Counter Earth, the actual ending itself, and then obviously nowhere in the beginning. Um, I mean, yeah, I pretty much said everything there is to say. Like, I love this film. I think it's amazing. I'd love to see it again myself. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to do or talk about to wrap this up?
No, I was just happy they actually went back. They threw him back into, and it was the end of the movie. To actually see his grandpa.
Yeah,
It kind of hits you in the feels. You know what I mean?
it really did. Yeah,
Um, so I thought that was really cool. Uh, the the new team, I'm excited to see what they kind of do with that. I think obviously James Gunn is done for sure. He got to make his last movie, which thank God, after all the other bullshit. And now that he's DC, basically the leader of DC, we'll see what happens with that. I think he'll do great, but I am happy that he was able to finish this, and we'll see what happens with the new team. Maybe they'll do a series, a Disney Plus series or something, and I guess we'll see what happens with that. But I am excited that they actually introduced Phyla-Vell, and it is Quasar. I was correct in saying that. She's a huge part of the Guardians moving forward, and then yeah, just Peter kind of getting his ending. I thought it was interesting the way that they ended the movie by saying, I don't remember what the exact words were, but basically something something Star Lord,
not the legendary Star Wars
the legend, yeah. So we'll see what happens with him. I'm curious to see what they do.
I think it'd be kind of cool to maybe like, but then again, because the Spider-Man ending, we don't know. But I thought it'd be cool for him and Spider-Man to go do something, but I just realized he doesn't know who Spider-Man is. So
True.
it's so fucking dumb. I hate that goddamn movie. Stupid fucking shit.
Which movie?
No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home. I just think the ending ruins that film. I just think it's so fucking stupid.
Remind me real quick.
The Doctor Strange to fix everything that went wrong in that film because of dumbass Spider-Man, he creates a spell that everyone
Yeah,
forgets who
yeah,
he
yeah.
is. Even
Yeah,
the Avengers, everyone, even Doctor Strange. I'm like, that's so goddamn dumb.
yeah.
Fucking
Okay.
idiots. Yeah.
This is
Sorry.
true. This is true.
I get very passionate about that because it's like I remember like when me and Eric went to go see Homecoming when it first came out, and like, obviously he was in Civil War, and then we see Homecoming. Like I just think like Tom Holland's such a good Spider-Man for the age that he's playing the character, or supposed to be playing the character. And I thought Far From Home wasn't terrible. And I thought No Way Home was cool. Like I thought it was cool that he could learn from the older Spider-Man, the tragic that they've been through.
Mhm.
And then it's kind of just wasted right there at the very end. But
that was
whatever.
that was a bit and taking me back now. I gotta
Yeah. I think I'm even more passionate about it because my brother Chris thinks I'm stupid. And his opinion on films is like the most dumbest fucking thing on the planet. Like I remember when the Batman got revealed, like the trailer, he's like, the
yeah.
movie's gonna suck. Movie's gonna suck. Cause stupid vampire playing Batman, and the movie comes out. He's like, bro, it was so good. I'm like, you suck, man. Fuck your opinion. Fuck you, Chris. Anyways,
That's Chris, man. Hey, to his credit, he can change his opinion. It's all right. He can change his mind.
you can,
Eric
but
does it
it's
all the
like,
time.
oh, damn, dude.
On what?
What's that shitty Marvel movie with Angelina Jolie and Salma Hayek and what they're all
Oh
like
The
man, I
Eternals.
couldn't even finish that
Eternals?
film.
I want the people to know that Eric likes the Eternals more than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Never said that, but
You know, I want that on record.
Damn,
okay.
dude. It's character assassination, just putting words in this guy's mouth.
No, he
Yeah,
did say that.
but yeah, Mike, is there anything else you want to say to kind of wrap this up? Eric made a pretty good point on his end.
Yeah, no, and it's just it's awesome to see with Gunn how when someone cares about the material so much that they just do they devote everything they all their arts and crafts to it, like, you know what I mean, like it's all and what the payoff could be. So it's something that hopefully if he's over at DC, you know, people that are passionate about the project and passionate about the character, and they'll take the time and do it right, instead of giving it to, you know, the dude that just has the resume and is going to be, you know, kind of just like the you know, just the, you know, whatever, a dude in the chair. But it's a great, I love it. And hopefully I want to, yeah, it's like one of the few movies, like I want to go see it again, dude. Like I never feel that way. I know Eric needs to watch a movie fucking 15 times to get a grasp of everything. But like I want to go watch it again. Yeah, so I am looking for, like, I'll take, like, I took the kid, I'll take see if I take the rest of them. Uh I I loved it. So just hopefully they stay on this type of, just give it to someone that gives a shit about the character and go from there.
That's kind of the thing about the film too. To kind of, I'll give my closing remarks, I guess, is just like the goal was to, you know, James Gunn came out saying this is like it wasn't to worry about Phase 5. He said he doesn't even really know what they're doing now. It was to really focus on just making a good film and wrapping up the stories that he started telling. And I just think that's great because now we have Adam Warlock and the new team. Like he still did things for Phase 5 technically, but focusing on just finishing his story. So yeah, I'm excited to see some of the things Marvel has coming up. We still got What If, Loki season 2, What If season 2, Loki season 2, Captain America 4, which, you know, in terms of like the New World Order and the Hulk in it and everything, like I think there is potential for that to be very good. I'm not trying to get my hopes up too much until I see maybe a trailer. But I think the Marvels just isn't going to cut it for me. Um, I don't know. I couldn't be less interested in this film. But that's the next one we have coming up, and I'm not going to watch it, so I'll have to wait till I guess Eric or YouTube tells me how's it is.
Yeah, why is that, Ryan? Why don't you want to watch it?
Well, I think it looks really fucking stupid. I don't really like the idea of like all their powers like transporting them between the three. There's like a part two where like they're like dancing and shit on like a futuristic planet, and it just looks terrible. Like there's like a dance number, but it looks like it's supposed to be in reference to Kamala Khan's culture and shit. But I'm like, what does that have to do with like anything? I don't know. Like who's? I
You
don't
didn't
know.
even, you weren't paying attention. It was they were in India probably. Okay. She
Why?
was probably doing part of the dance, and then something happened, and then they transferred people again.
The movie looks like a joke. That's all I know,
You're a joke.
and it
Yeah,
probably will
no,
be. The movie
no,
looks fucking stupid.
I mean, I don't know how they. Captain Marvel was just oof, oof.
I thought
I don't
Captain Marvel 1 was okay. I didn't really hate it. I just
oof, oof.
I don't know.
I
I don't know.
Women.
I
I
mean,
just hate I hate the stupid woman like team up scene in Avengers. That's the only thing I hate. I think it's so fucking gay. Don't
yeah, I
worry,
mean,
girls. We'll get it together. We'll get
it,
them.
I knew they were gonna do something like that, and if they're gonna do something like that and do it cool, all right, great. But I'm looking at Phase 5 right now. Uh, I don't know how you make Blade not PG-13, but Blade was probably one I'll check out because of Ali. Secret
Yeah,
Invasion.
he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Secret Invasion looks kind of cool. I hope
Yeah.
I hope I'm right about that. I mean, the tone of it like seems amazing. I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
And yeah, that's kind of like because Captain Marvel had those. What are those characters? Those green guys?
Trolls.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just need to wrap this shit up and stop making movies. That's kind of where I'm at.
Well, they're not going to stop. But
you keep watching them.
I'm not watching all of them. They're not getting all my money. I'm trying to make a stand where it counts, but there's millions of other people saying otherwise. I don't know. I just think there's something about the Marvels. Like I could not be less interested. But hey, hopefully I'm wrong. Like hopefully it's a good film and there's a lot of success there and it moves forward with Phase 5 and I'm wrong and I get to go watch it. But Eternals was the last film I felt this way about, and I couldn't even finish it when I watched it for free on Disney Plus. So we'll see.
Yeah,
film sucks.
Yeah,
what a waste! What a waste of Kit Harington. He deserves better.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the Thunderbolts is going to be a waste.
I know, right?
Harrison Ford. Is Harrison Ford Thunderbolt Ross? Whatever.
Yeah, he replaced the guy that passed away.
William Hurt. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the Red Hulk.
Yeah, there's like potential for that film to either. I think, Eric, I think it's either going to be like really good or just really bad.
No gray area, dude.
Well, I don't even know about like Captain America, New World Order. I'm still not convinced that Sam Wilson's going to be the greatest. I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was just not that good.
Racist piece of shit, dude.
It has nothing to do with his race. You stupid bitch.
Yeah,
I mean, Ryan hates women, and I'm racist, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Well, I don't hate women. It's
just you don't want to see the Marvels. You think it's a piece of shit, and then the girl team up.
The girl team up's so fucking dumb.
You have a niece. You have a niece, and I have a daughter. Ryan, change your fucking perspective.
Listen, the thing is, you literally stopped the film's progression just to make this scene when Wanda is more powerful than all those bitches combined. So it's like, and then
oh my god, another bitches. Too. Oh my goodness, you're getting canceled. Cut this shit.
I'm not cutting it. I'm committing to it. But let's probably get back on track real quick. Guardians.
I'm just saying, Captain America, New World Order. Let's see how that goes. Whatever. The one thing about the whole Sam Wilson Captain America, I didn't like his suit. I thought it looked kind of cheap.
Yeah, it's a little cheap. Yeah, the figure even
like when he's got the face. It looked like it was like.
Yeah. I don't know. He's a fucking fashion police now, dude. Like everything's makeup and costumes with you, dude.
Shut up, Mike. Thunderbolts could literally go either way. Blade, hopefully, God, I hope it's good.
Deadpool 3, Daredevil, Born Again,
Armor Wars, and I don't even care. Spider-Man 4
is just gonna get canceled or something. I think it already did actually.
Secret Invasion, Loki, X-Men 97. What if Echo? I don't care about. Ironheart, I guess I'll watch.
They probably won't even make Ironheart or Echo. I don't think they're gonna commit to those projects.
No. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos.
Daredevil. Yeah, I guess it's going to be a musical.
Okay. Well, it says Echoes in post production, so they did
make it. And then it's kind of lingering too with the Jonathan Major stuff going on. I don't know what they're going to do with the Secret Wars and Loki, and
but you wouldn't mind if he was in it regardless, though, right, dude?
Would I mind if he's in it?
You wouldn't mind, dude, because
what's the allegations?
Then he hit his girlfriend, but it's a he said, she said.
No, I was going to cut because he doesn't like a black Captain America. He's not going to fucking like Jonathan Majors being in the fucking movie.
He doesn't like women. He doesn't like a black Captain America. You don't like deaf characters. Man, it's all bad.
Oh my god, we're done. We're fucked.
Yeah, I think we're good here. I think that's a good way to end it. If you made it this far, please reach out to me at ItJustWorksStudios on Instagram. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on my rage.
Yeah, nobody will, but okay.
Probably not. Jarrett might. He's actually waiting for this episode. So shout out to Jarrett if he makes it this far.
Good job, Jared.
He's like, I want to listen. I don't want to watch the movie. I'm like, go watch it. It's good. He's like, I'm good. I hate our cousin sometimes. I love him to death, but he's so fucking stupid. Yeah, like, dude, when you posted the screenshot on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, well, if you look, it's Brian's account. He's like, yeah, I didn't think to look. I'm like, you don't know, you never think to look at anything. Like, you'll send like a trailer to something. He's like, what is it? Well, watch the fucking trailer, stupid. All right. Well, this has been the It Just Works podcast. Thank you to my guests, Eric and Mike, for talking all things Marvel here. It's been a lot of fun to kind of jump back into Marvel, even though I shit on it at its current state. I do think it's incredible to see how far it's come, and hopefully we can wrap things up on a positive note with Phase 5 and I think Phase 6. I don't know if they're just doing Phase 5. I'm excited to see the future. There is potential if Sam takes the super soldier serum and gets a new costume. It could be dope.
That's what he needs to do. That's all I need from him.
Oh yeah.
Then everything is right in the world.
Feels a white fucking sheet, dude. Eye holes in it, dude. It'd probably be. That's what you would prefer.
Yo, dude. This ain't Django. Relax, dude.
Dang, that's a good movie. That's a really good movie. Damn. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.